From translation, TLB the Living Bible this 206th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Ecclesiastes 5-8 Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 to 20 as you enter the temple. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. It is wrong to make rash promises to God, for he treats your words as a vow. Don't be impulsive in your thoughts or speech. Don't be in a hurry to state your case before God, for God is in heaven and you are on earth, so let your words be few. Being busy makes you dream just as much as being stupid does. So when you make a promise to God, keep it as quickly as possible. He has no use for a fool. Do what you promise to do. It is far better not to say you'll do something than to say you will and then not do it. Don't let your mouth make you sin. And don't defend yourself by telling the temple messenger that the promise you made was a mistake. That would make God angry, and he might wipe out everything you have achieved. Dreaming all the time makes you useless. You are a fool if you talk too much. If you see the poor oppressed and the violation of justice and righteousness in the province, do not be shocked at the sight, for one official is watched by a higher official, and there are yet higher ones over them. The produce of the earth is taken advantage of by all. Even the king gets his share from the fields. He who loves money shall never have enough. The foolishness of thinking that wealth brings happiness is the root of all kinds of evils. The more you have, the more you spend, right up to the limits of your income. So what is the advantage of wealth, except to look at? The working man sleeps well, whether he eats little or much, but the rich man is always worrying and has trouble sleeping. There is another serious problem I have seen under the sun. Hoarding riches harms the saver. Money is put into risky investments that turn sour, and everything is lost. In the end, there is nothing left to pass on to one's children. We all come to the end of our lives as naked and empty-handed as on the day we were born. We can't take our riches with us, and this, too, is a very serious problem. People leave this world no better off than when they entered it. What do they get for all their hard work and for all the worries of their heart? Their days are full of sorrow and trouble. Their nights are filled with restlessness and grief. So it is better to be content with what little you have. After all, who knows how long you will live? And it is a good thing to receive wealth from God and the good health to enjoy it. To enjoy your work and to accept your lot in life, this is indeed a gift from God. God keeps such people so busy enjoying life that they take no time to brood over the past. Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verses 1 to 12. There is another evil I have seen under the sun, and it weighs heavily upon men. God gives a man wealth, honor, and everything he could want, but then denies him the health to enjoy it. He dies and gets the same burial as a pauper. A man might have 100 children and live a long time, but if his soul is never satisfied with the good things he has, I say he would have been better off born dead. His birth would have been meaningless, ending in darkness. He wouldn't even have had a name, and he would never have seen the sun or known what it is. This man is better off than the other, yet he lived 1,000 years twice over, but never enjoyed the good things that all men enjoy. Are not both going to the same place? A man works for his mouth, his appetite, yet his appetite is never satisfied. What advantage has a wise man over a fool? What does the poor man have that makes him know how to face life? It is better to be satisfied with what you have than to be always wanting something else. Whatever happens, it was destined long ago. God knows what the future holds. The more words you speak, the less they mean. So what advantage does a man have? For who knows what is best for us here? Who can tell what the future will bring? Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 1 to 29. A good reputation is more valuable than costly perfume, and the day you die is better than the day you are born. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to a house of feasting, for death is the destiny of every man. The living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for sadness has a refining influence on us. A wise man thinks much of death, while the fool thinks only of having a good time. It is better to be criticized by a wise man than to be praised by a fool. The laughter of a fool is like the crackling of thorns under pot. It is meaningless and soon dies out. Oppression makes wise men mad, and a bribe corrupts the heart. The end of a matter is better than the beginning, and patience is better than pride. Don't be quick-tempered, for anger is a foolish characteristic. Don't ask, why were the old days better than these? You are not asking wisely. Wisdom is even better when you have money. Both are a benefit as you go through life, for the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money. And the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of its owner. Notice the way God does things and fall into line. Don't fight the facts of nature. Enjoy prosperity while you can, but when hard times strike, realize that both come from God. That way you will realize that nothing is certain in this life. In this meaningless life, I have seen everything, including the fact that some good men die young and some wicked men live on and on. So don't be too good or too wise. Why destroy yourself? On the other hand, don't be too wicked either. Don't be a fool, why should you die before your time? It is best to be a little of both, but not too much of either. He who fears God will avoid all extremes. Wisdom makes a man stronger than 10 rulers of a city. There is not a single man in all the earth who is always good and never sins. Don't listen to everything people say, otherwise you might hear your servant cursing you. For you know how often you yourself have cursed others. All this I tested by wisdom. I said I will be wise, but it was beyond me. For wisdom is a difficult thing, and who can ever find it? I searched everywhere to determine what is good and what is bad, but I found that God has overwhelmed us with mysteries that we can't solve. I found a bitter fate for the woman whose heart is a trap and whose hands are chains. The man who pleases God will escape her, but she will catch the sinner. Look, this is what I have discovered, says the preacher, adding one thing to another to find the answer. While I was searching but not finding, I found one good man in 1,000, but not one good woman. This is my conclusion. God made us plain and simple, but we have made ourselves very complicated. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verses 1 to 18. How wonderful to be wise, to know the meaning of things. Wisdom lights up a man's face, softening its harshness. Obey the king since you vowed to God to do it. Don't try to get out of it by going away to avoid a rash promise. Don't stand in such an evil place, for the king can do whatever he wants. Since the king's word is supreme, who can say to him, "What are you doing?" Whoever obeys his commands will avoid trouble. The wise man knows the right time and the right way to do things. There is a right time and a right way to do everything, but we know so little. For man is troubled by many things, he doesn't know what will happen. He can't predict the future. No man has the power to retain the spirit or authority over the day of his death. There is no discharge in that war. Wickedness won't save the wicked. I have thought deeply about all that goes on here under the sun, where men have power to hurt each other. I have seen wicked men buried with honor, yet they were the very ones who frequented the temple and are now praised in the city where they did so many evil things. This too is meaningless. When a crime is not punished quickly, people feel it is safe to do wrong. But even though a man sins 100 times and still lives a long time, I know that those who fear God will be better off. The wicked will not live long, for they have no respect for the Lord. Their days shall be cut short like a shadow. They shall wither like grass. Here is another example of the meaninglessness of life. Sometimes a good man loses all he has to evil men. And then there is this other evil. Riches are hoarded by their owners and bring harm to them instead of good. So I recommend having fun, because there is nothing better for people in this world than to eat, drink, and enjoy life. That way they will experience some happiness, along with all the hard work God gives them. In my search for wisdom, and in my observation of people's burdens here on earth, I have seen many things that don't make sense. For instance, I cannot understand why God has put man into this situation. No man can discover what God is doing from beginning to end. For though man lives many years, he doesn't enjoy them as he should, and then he dies, just like the animals.